wanted to be a Formula One technician. Went in to study BTEC motor vehicle technology, and then quickly from there fell into mechanics role. That was where we got started, and quickly realised that was just very much a sort of fitter's role, just changing brake pads and bits and bobs. Got made redundant 3-4 times out of that. And then from there, just done an odd few jobs here and there. My mum and dad were into property, had bought and renovated property throughout their lives. I was the baby of 5, so by the time I come along, they were sort of slowing down a little bit, but they basically advised me to keep hold of anything that I bought, which is pretty much what I've done. Yes, I was I've lost track. So I was a mechanic for a few years, then became like a builder, labourer, done office removals. Then I'm trying to work out my journey from there. Blimey. It was only 10 years ago, but it's difficult to remember, you know.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's hard remembering dates, different chapters of life. Yeah, I get it.
But, yeah, no, rolling back about 30 odd years, I struggled to remember what happened yesterday.
So there was property in your family, though. I mean, it was around you. You was growing up with it. You was hearing kind of, you know, you was getting it kind of cemented into your head that it was a good way forward. It was going to give you some security, and you know, something you was interested in.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, probably the age of 6, 7, 8, or whatever, I was scraping off the old chipboard wallpaper.
Yeah, we all remember that.
Yes, I was always in and out of properties when I was younger. My mum and dad were always doing bits and pieces. My dad had his own suspended ceiling business as well, so that was used to help him out quite a bit on that as well. But yeah, weekends, yeah, quite happily we'd be round houses doing this, that, and everything.
Did you have to get involved with, you know, putting tenants in, you know, collecting money, collecting rent and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, I mean, if we fast forward, you know, as I grew up, I bought my first property at 20. I was 20 years old. And
it's unheard of these days, eh? It's more like 50 years old now. People are buying their first property.
Yeah. Well, that was an investment property as well. So we actually, my brother runs an entertainment agency, and he's 6 years older than me. So when I was sort of reaching my teens, I was out DJing with him, being his roadie, doing karaoke, sound engineering and bits and pieces. And then subsequently we had, at that time it was vinyl. If the listeners, you've probably got an array of listeners, but hopefully they all remember what vinyl is or familiar what it is. So where I'm going with that is we actually bought a record collection from someone. We bought over 5,000 singles, 7-inch singles. We took out what we wanted and then invited a load of friends round to have a look at what was left and see if we could sell it on. And then we had probably a good 20 or 30 friends come round, took their few bits, and we thought, that's a good idea. Why don't we open a record shop? Wow. And that's where the first investment come along. We then, at the time as well, we bought the property, which I've still got, and we bought it for the shop, and it had a flat above, so it's a commercial unit, and pretty much the flat money at the time, the rental, we rented the flat out, and we basically paid the mortgage. Pretty much the rent covered the mortgage, so it was a well, if I look at it, I wouldn't say no money down. We put in a bit of savings, but pretty much it was a HMO. We got a shop for free basically, so we was just put all the records in, run that for 5 years, and then vinyl demised and CDs come about and basically couldn't compete with the big boys. So then we just decided to rent the shop out.
I think a lot of people might be listening to that and thinking, well, you know, good for you, you know, that you did that. But, you know, the idea, you kind of, sometimes it gets breezed over about, well, you know, I just went out and bought that place. You know, how did that happen? How did you accumulate the funds? Was it just through hard work and saving, being responsible? Because most people now, like we know, they live kind of week to week, paycheck to paycheck. The idea of buying a place, it's not even an afterthought. So how did all that come about? How was you able to buy that place, you know, and get started?
Yeah, so originally, back in them days, it was easy to loan money. You could literally, my mum and dad had a good relationship with a bank manager. And pretty much it was, you know, we all put in, we put in 30,000. The property was 80 grand when we bought it. We all put in. Well, my mum and dad put in 10.
Yeah.
My brother put in 10, and I put in. I was only 20 at that time, so I think it was about £3,500 savings, and I was due to go on a lad's holiday, and that was my money, pretty much, for the lad's holiday. Well, not all of that, obviously, but yeah, that was my savings at the time, and I decided to put it into the property. And then my mum and dad sort of lent me the rest, which I paid off over the coming years. So we had a £30,000 deposit, which went down, and then we borrowed the other 50 on an endowment type policy.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, basically, like I say, the rent covered it. So I had my mum and dad to pull on for sort of purchasing property, and my older brother had purchased something with my sister. Yeah, we just saw it in a shop window.
Yeah.
Went along,